What's going on, YouTube? Back here with our second video. We're going to be ranking again, but this time we're going to be ranking every single weapon in Chapter 4 of Fortnite. Let's get started. So, first weapon on the list, Scar. Not what it used to be. Not what it used to be. If you've been playing this season, you know the bloom is awful on this thing. I think there are two better ARs in the game right now that we'll get to. Scar, in my opinion, gets a mid-tier. FAMAS, this is a 2-round burst, just got added a couple days ago actually. In my opinion, this FAMAS is a I'm gonna give it mid as well. I think it's okay. You know, it has its place, kind of that mid-range. But again, I think there's other ARs this season that are better, and I don't think that the Scar or FAMAS. I think they're both kind of mid guns. Next up, we have the combat shotgun. This is a meh shotgun, in my opinion. If you watched my other video, you know that I'm not a huge fan of the combat shotgun this season. Anybody who played Season 9 of Chapter 1 knows the potential that this shotgun had, how good it was on launch. Probably the best gun ever on launch. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. If you played, you knew. But currently, how it stands, in my opinion, just a meh shotgun, that's all. DMR, great. DMR is a great weapon. I think the DMR is criminally underrated. I've never seen people using it. In my opinion, I know they call it a marksman rifle. In my opinion, this is the second best AR in the game. I count it as an AR. In my opinion, this is the second best AR. First one will be coming up later in this video, what I think is the best AR. DMR is good. The damage output is ridiculous. 3-shot someone, hit 2 headshots and a body shot, you're 3-shotting somebody with this thing. So strong. Gold 1, I think, does 55 damage. 2 body shots and you're doing 110 damage. This gun is so underrated. It's great. I wish more people would use it, but keep sleeping on it. It's amazing. Excalibur. Excalibur's meh, and the only reason that it goes in meh and not don't use is because of the explosive effect. On launch, this thing was really, really good. Really good. They nerfed it to the ground. They nerfed the building damage. If you've ever been shot at by Excalibur, even with a fully built wood wall, I think it takes 3 or 4 shots to blow up your builds, and that's just not practical at all. At that point, just use an RPG or one of the other bows or something like that. I think it could use work also. It's not, the bullets are projectiles. They're not hits. It's not a hit scan weapon. It's a projectile, so it makes it that much harder to hit your shots. If you do hit a headshot, though, you're going to be doing some serious damage, and it's not as good as it used to be. It is okay. I think it's meh. The only reason why it's not in W's is because you can still get some explosive damage, which is still pretty good. You can still get some splash damage, but other than that, I think it's gonna stay in meh. Heavy shotgun. You guys know how much I hate the heavy shotgun. This is a don't use for me. Again, so hard to use, so not practical for a shotgun. If anybody gets up in your face with this thing, you know that you're gonna die. I would so much rather have a Thunder or a Maven here instead. Like, the heavy shotgun, in my opinion, is the worst shotgun of all time. I hate this heavy shotgun with the slugs. So much worse than the old heavy shotgun. I really don't like it. I know this is going to be controversial. I know some people like it, hitting for 150s from 50 meters away. I know it's going to be controversial. I think it's got to stay in the don't use. Machine SMG. Meh. It's meh for me. After the first 10 or 11 shots, your bullets just go everywhere. It's got that horizontal recoil. Your bullets go everywhere. Don't even bother using this thing past 10 or 15 meters because you're going to be hitting for 9 damage. The only redeeming factor of this gun is that it has 33 bullets in a clip. So if you're in a box with somebody, you can just spray and spray and spray, and you'll probably kill them if you're within 2 or 3 meters. Past that range, inside a box, this thing is pretty useless. It is super inferior to the Twin Mag. The Twin Mag is a top 3 gun in this game. We'll get to that at the end. And I don't think this gun is anything special. I think it deserves the mess spot. Maven. I think the Maven is a great shotgun. I think it's really solid. It's a great second shotgun option, in my opinion. But if you don't want to use the Thunder, you don't want to take that big boy shot, you can use the Maven. You'll still do some serious damage, especially the purple and the gold variant of the Maven hit really, really hard. You can easily 2-shot somebody. Really solid shotgun. If you haven't watched my shotgun video, go check that one out because I go more in depth with the shotguns. So that's all I'll say for there. If you want to hear more about the shotguns, you can go to that video. But like I said, pretty solid shotgun. Definitely deserves the great category. So this is the explosive bow, right? I'm just gonna pair the explosive and fire bow together. I'll put it in meh. I mean, I know the firebow isn't on here. I don't know why it's not on here. Firebow would probably be mid just because you chain the fire damage together. But I'm going to put this explosive bow in meh. Getting gameplay for this thing was impossible. I'm just not good with the bows. So I'm going to have a tainted opinion on the bows. Again, it's okay if you can get it like around the wall. It does like the 3 little cluster shots that do 20 damage apiece. And, you know, you can do work with it. It's really hard. I think the bows are kind of underpowered this season. I think the Shockwave bow is the only really good one. Which, speaking of the Shockwave bow, let's get to that. Shockwave bow is next. I think the Shockwave bow is great. I'm actually going to give it great. This is the highest rating I've ever given a bow. And it's for a couple of reasons. One, the mobility in this season is really bad. If you don't have a Shockwave hammer, you're gonna get caught. Especially with how the game is now with Deku's, you know, you're gonna get destroyed if you don't have a hammer to leave and get out of fights. And especially, you know, you can pair this with the bow augments. There's like 3 or 4 bow augments you can pair this with, and it makes it a lot better. Great for mobility. Does some pretty solid damage too. 75. You can shoot them in the zone with it. It has multiple uses besides just being a weapon. You know, you can have mobility, you can send someone in the zone, you know, you can keep recharging arrows. It's really good. Definitely the best bow this season by far. And also, while I'm on the topic of bows, there's no exotics on this list, so there's no, you know, the exotic bow, the grapple bow, whatever that is, the one that gives you like a random bow. That's not on here. There's no exotics. That's why there's no dub on here either. Okay, stink bow. Stink bow. I think it's meh. I mean, it could go mid. I definitely think it's better. You know, I'll put it mid. I think mid. It can stay in mid. The stink effect isn't as big as I would like it to be. If you use the stink grenades, you would know what I'm talking about. You know, those things were really good because you could throw them on top of a box and they would hit anybody in the bottom of the box, or to the right or to the left. But the stink area is not that large, so even if someone's sitting in a 1x1, if you shoot it, you know, if they're sitting in the back of the 1x1, you shoot at the front, that's not going to hit them. You know, you have to get it on the right wall, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. You know, sometimes I wish you could just shoot at a box and it would stink up the whole box. But, you know, especially if you get someone weak, you just shoot at the edge of a box and they're sitting in the corner, you can get 5, 10, 15, 20 damage pretty easily. And again, the bows do good damage if you hit the arrow. But especially for me on console, like it can be tough to hit these arrows. So I think it's going to stay mid. It has its time, it has its uses, but I don't think that it can go any higher than mid. RPG, great. You know, I think the RPG is the RPG. You know, you're going to shoot it, you're going to get a solid 115, 130. But as I've seen this chapter, you know, as the RPG has been reintroduced into the game, you know, players are getting better at countering the RPG. You know, if you played in, you know, chapter 1, chapter 2, you shot an RPG and, you know, people wouldn't build. Someone just shot a wall at the corner. I mean, someone just shot a rocket, you know, at the corner around the wall, and it would kill you. Like, you know, I think the RPG has you know, you have to use it a different way. You know, shoot the RPG at someone's, you know, the top of their cone and drop into their box. Like, it's become more of a like, utility weapon than actually doing damage with it. You know, shoot someone down from height, and especially with the, you know, the nerf happened years and years ago where you can only hold 13 rockets instead of, you know, infinite. Definitely has brought it down a little bit because I think the RPG used to be a god tier weapon, but currently how it stands, I think it's great. You know, it's still really solid. Legendary, you're doing 130 for it. If you know how to use an RPG, especially early game is just free kills. You know, I land faulty splits and the AI holds an RPG. If you buy it early game, you know, you're just gonna get free kills on everybody. I think the RPG is a really solid weapon. Used to be god tier. I think great is a good spot for it. It's still a really solid weapon. Red Eye Assault Rifle. Now, all you no build players will put this in great or god tier. I know I watch no build a lot. I know you guys love this gun. For me, I'm gonna put it at mid, and here's why. This gun, for some reason, I don't know if it's just me. You know, I play on controller, I play on Xbox, and I don't know if it's just me. Let me know in the comments below if you guys feel this way too. But I feel like I do not get aim assist with this weapon. I try and aim on somebody and my aim is going all over the place. I feel like it's not sticky. Like I get no aim assist with it. I don't know what it is. Let me know if I'm weird for that. Most people have this in gray or god tier probably, especially in no build. I play build most of the time. So I'm going to keep it in mid, and that's why. I feel like I just don't get aim assist. It's so hard to hit my shots with this gun. I don't know why. First god tier weapon, Shockwave Hammer. Shockwave Hammer's got to go into God tier. There's no question about it. Best weapon this season, bar none. It's one of the best weapons we've ever seen. They have nerfed it multiple times, on launch. I think it was, you had 4 hammers, and you had, I believe it was 10 seconds to charge up between. Now I think it's 3 hammers with 20 seconds, I believe. It used to be 15 and then 20 again. I don't know. They've tweaked it a bunch of times. It is still absurdly good. If you don't have a hammer, you're gonna have a rough time, in my opinion. From the games I've seen, if I have a hammer, I can easily win. Without a hammer, it's tough. You get someone weak, someone just hammers away. Again, it has more usage though. Like you can do great things with this thing, and the only bad part about this weapon is if you go to hammer down to do damage. If you go to hammer down and you miss and you get stuck in the ground, you are a free kill. That time after your hammer is stuck in the ground is super unforgiving. It's like 2 or 3 seconds where you're just sitting there and you are a free kill, and that is not good. But if you can hit that hammer, you better be sure you can hit it. If you can hit it, you're gonna be doing some serious damage. Right on them, I think it's 125, 75 if you're right in front of them. It has a great radius, and also they just buffed it again, so that does 75 when you're trying to move out. So you guys know, I guess on controller, when you press LT and you go to rotate with it, that will do damage if somebody is near you now, which is so absurd. The Mythic Hammer has 5, so if you get the Mythic Hammer, I mean, GG's. You can use it under somebody to break their builds. I've done that so many times. It is such a good weapon. It's best weapon this season by far, and it's gonna stay in God tier. That's where it belongs. Pistol. Now this is surprising, but if you've played this season and you've used this pistol, especially in Blue Purple Legendary with the pistol augment, you know that this is a great weapon. This thing has 0 bloom. There's like no bloom with it. I use this thing and I shoot, and I'm hitting people from 50, 60, 70 meters for almost 100 damage with a pistol. It's a fully auto pistol too, by the way, fully auto. You can use this thing as an AR. You can use it as a backup to your shotgun. After you shoot the shotgun, switch to the pistol. It's super strong, and it's even better once you get that pistol augment. I think you go from 15 bullets in a clip to 22. That extra 7 is huge. Does pretty good structure damage, and I was pleasantly surprised with this pistol. And I think this pistol definitely deserves great. Some people might even put it in God tier. I don't think it gets quite up there yet, because I think it's super reliant on the augment. If you don't have that augment, 15 bullets in a fully auto pistol isn't that much. But this thing is super, super strong, and it's going to stay in great. TAC AR, just another surprising weapon. This is a God tier gun, in my opinion. This is a God tier gun. You guys are going to see in my gameplay how much you can just beam with this gun. The scope makes everything. I know some people were TAC AR fans before it had the scope. For me, I wasn't. Once I saw they added a scope, okay, let me give this thing a try, and it beams. It has no recoil. There's a ton of augments you can pair with this thing to make it super strong. It is a beam. Just a little bit of vertical recoil. Just pull that thumbstick down a little bit. If you haven't tried this thing, give it a chance. I promise you will not be disappointed. You can use it as an AR or a sub. That's what it's meant for. It's a hybrid. It is so strong. It uses light bullets as well, which is better. This thing beams. You will not miss with this gun, and I'm telling you right now, underrated. I think it's underrated because people haven't really gotten a ton of chances to use it, because you have to have the tactical armory augment to get it. But if you get your hands on this thing, if you see it on the ground, take it, use it. I promise you will not be disappointed. Thunder Shotgun, God tier. I'm going to put it in God tier because it's got to go above the Maven. I think it goes above the Maven. Think, anybody who likes the box meta rather than the spray meta, it's your classic pump versus tac shotgun, the Thunder versus the Maven. Again, I've talked more about this in my other video, my shotgun video, ranking every shotgun in Fortnite, so you should go check that out. Again, super solid shotgun. If you get this thing in purple or legendary, you're just gonna melt. I mean, you just have to hit a couple pellets and you're gonna be hitting for 100. It's super strong, but again, just like the pumps in previous seasons, super unforgiving. If you miss that shot, a time between your next shot is going to be super long, and you're going to be sitting there. I think it's the best shotgun this season by far, and I'm super happy that they kind of brought the pump back to kind of where it used to be. It'll never be the OG pump, but this thing does a ton of damage, and green or blue you can easily hit for 140, 150, 160 with a headshot. And I think you guys will see in the gameplay how I'm just destroying everybody that's within like 5 meters of me. This thing is super strong, definitely a God tier weapon. Alright, to close out the video, we have the Twin Mag SMG. This is a tough one because I think it can be a God tier or great weapon, depending on how you use it. I think it's god tier, guys. I think this is a god tier SMG. This is probably, in my opinion, a top 3 SMG of all time. This gun has no bloom. I have hit people with this thing for 100 damage from 80 to 100 meters away with an SMG. Now, the only downside of this thing, I would say, is that you only get 20 bullets in a mag. So, you know, if you're, I mean, even if you think about it, you have a legendary twin mag. It's going to take 8 shots at point blank range to kill someone that's fully shielded. You know, that only leaves you with 12 misses. You know, in a gun that fires super fast, you try and spray walls. I always find myself having this gun not reloaded in fights. I know the whole appeal is a twin mag, so every other reload reloads fast, but just looking at the gun, the base gun, it is so strong. I think it's by far best SMG this season, a top 3 gun this season. If I don't have a TAC AR, I'm carrying a twin mag. That's just how it works. I always have a twin mag in my loadout. I use it as my AR when I'm carrying a hammer and chug cannon. This gun is really strong. I would recommend everyone use it. If you haven't been using it, hop on that train. It's the best SMG in this game by far. But yeah, that's my list. This is my list for Chapter 4 weapons. Now, heavy shotgun, only one that don't use, but everything else is pretty evenly distributed. I think the loot pool this season is okay. Could use a little bit, but hopefully we get some big updates before the season ends. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm really interested to see your guys' takes on these weapons compared to mine. You know, I play build. I would love to hear some people play no build, what you guys think about these rankings and these weapons. Let me know, guys, okay? Let me know. I'm super interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Next video will come soon. Maybe another ranking video, maybe not. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching so much. Like, subscribe, comment, everything. You guys know the deal. I'll talk to you guys soon.